Hello and welcome everyone. I hope this message finds you fit and fine. Today we need to discuss union territories. This word is mentioned in Part 1, Article 1 of Indian Constitution. Article 1 says that territories of India include territories of state, UT and such other territories which may be acquired by India at any point of time. But you should have some questions in mind. What is the difference between UTs and state? Why we needed UTs? So let's start. So states have federal relation with center. It means there's distribution of power between center and state. The state can say these areas are my areas means subjects on which I'm going to make law. I have the power, right? But can UTs make such claims? Answer is no. Union territories. These are the territories of union. And that is why there's another name, centrally administered territories. So how they were created? Initially during Britishers' time, there was one system, scheduled districts, which were later converted into CCPs, means Chief Commissioners' provinces. And later, when states were being categorized, means areas were being categorized, when constitution was being framed, at the time, some of these areas were categorized under Part C and Part D. Later, after enactment of Indian Constitution, by 7th Constitutional Amendment Act and State Reorganization Act, union territories came into place. 1956, they were constituted as UTs by 7th and this State Reorganization Act 1956. Generally, some of these UTs have been elevated to the level of state. For example, Himachal Pradesh. Yes, right now it's a state, but earlier it was a UT. Manipur, Tripura, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Goa, they all were UT at one point of time. Territories which were acquired from Portuguese like Goa, Daman and Diu, Dadar Nagar Haveli, for example from French Puducherry, so they were given status of UT. Now, you should have this question, why they were given this status of UT? Number 1 point, political and administrative considerations. For example, Delhi, for example, Chandigarh. In Delhi, you have seat of union government. For political considerations, they wanted this area to be administered with having, some areas in some subjects, center should have more say. Because this system has been observed in many nations. Capital have spatial arrangement. Similarly, Chandigarh, both Haryana and Punjab were laying claim over Chandigarh. Political considerations, a new, or you can say a UT as an administrative setup was launched there. Then cultural distinctness, for example, Daman and Diu and Puducherry, Dadar Nagar Haveli. So, distinct culture. They needed to be preserved in a different manner. If they are merged with one state, then the distinct culture may be under impact. So, a different status. Strategic importance, location is such that union wants direct control there. Andaman Nicobar Island, Lakshadweep Island. Similarly, spatial treatment and care for the backward and tribal people, just for example, Mizoram, Manipur, Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh, which later became states. So, you can easily remember this when question is asked in mains on the debate, while some UTs were claiming that state would need to be given, for example, Delhi. So, what are the logics, So, for these logics, you can remember PCSS, okay, 4. Now, Jammu and Kashmir, you remember 2019 action by central government, right? Now, Jammu and Kashmir was bifurcated and 2 UTs were carved out. Jammu and Kashmir UT and Ladakh UT. Ladakh UT is not having any legislative assembly, but J&K UT is given provision of having legislative assembly. So, reasons for Jammu and Kashmir bifurcation, why it happened. First, Ladakh's case. Number 1 point, sparsely populated, low density, difficult terrain, long pending demand of Ladakh people, no legislative assembly for now. Then why J&K as a separate UT? Internal security, cross-border terrorism, central government wants direct say to tackle these problems with legislative assembly. Now, administration of union territories. First of all, please remember, in case of UTs, there's no uniformity in administration. You cannot say, oh, say you are a UT and you are also UT. It means you should be following same scheme of administration. No. You can say this thing in case of states, but not in case of UTs. No uniformity in their administrative system. Every union territory administered by the president, acting through administrator or lieutenant governor appointed by president. Okay, for example, in Delhi, you have lieutenant governor. Union territory of Pondicherry, National Capital Territory of Delhi, and Jammu and Kashmir are provided by legislative assembly. So you have 3 UTs which are having legislative assemblies: Delhi, Puducherry, and now J&K. The parliament can make law on any subject pertaining to UTs, whether it is union, state, or concurrent. UTs, you may be having legislative assembly, but you cannot say that all the subjects which are mentioned in state list, I am having the power. No, center has power, right? So with respect to, you can say, UTs, apart from these 3 UTs, and all the list, center can make actually laws. With regard to Delhi, Puducherry, and J&K, we have certain judgments regarding this, where Supreme Court has said, okay, in this area, Delhi government is going to have say, although file needs to be moved through lieutenant governor, who is a representative of center. Now, the parliament can establish high court for a union territory, and parliament can also make an arrangement that, okay, you are a UT, but we are not giving any special high court to you because population is less. Your matters can be taken care by the adjacent high court of any state. Jurisdiction of adjacent high court, for example, Delhi is the only UT which is having its own high court. Okay? Now, special provisions with respect to Delhi. First of all, 69th Constitution Amendment Act 1991 provided special status for UT to Delhi. Earlier, Delhi was not a UT. Delhi, National Capital Territory of Delhi, it was a status given later. Okay? Please remember, there's a difference between this word NCT and NCR. Can you tell me the difference between NCT and NCR in the comments below? It created Legislative Assembly and Council of Ministers for Delhi. So how many members are there in Legislative Assembly of Delhi? Answer is 70. Earlier, Delhi was Metropolitan Council and was also having Executive Council, means more, you can say, hold of center government. Strength is 70, election is conducted by Election Commission of India, Council of Ministers fixed strength is 10%, okay, means 7 ministers can be there in Delhi, okay. Chief Minister is appointed by President, then Chief Minister gives a list, sir, appoint these MLAs as members of my council, ministers. So then President is going to appoint. President means ministers as well as CM holds office on the pleasure of President. It means you need to ensure majority in Legislative Assembly, then you are going to be there. Council of Ministers collectively responsible to Assembly. It means the moment you lose majority in Legislative Assembly, your government is going to lapse, right, dissolve. In case of failure of constitutional machinery, then President can impose President rule there, can be done with a report of Governor in case of state. Here, in case of Lieutenant Governor, more power in the hands of center. The provision actually resonates what? Provisions mentioned in Article 356, resonates, okay. Advisory Committee of Union Territory. The Government of India, allocation of business rules, Ministry of Home Affairs. So Ministry of Home Affairs is the one who is having major power with regard to administration of UTs. Okay, for example, this Lakshadweep, Andaman. So who at the center is responsible for managing the affairs of these UTs? Answer is Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay. Nodal ministry for all matters of union, you can say territories, relating to legislation, finance, budget, services, appointment of Lieutenant Governor, administration. So Home Ministry is the nodal ministry, main ministry. Now have a look over the UTs. And you must be aware of this fact. In January 2020, Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu were merged. Okay, this is the update. And due to administrative reasons. Now what is the difference between state and UTs? Let's sum up them. Okay. Their relationship with center is federal, but their relationship with center is unitary, means center is having the ultimate say. They share distribution of power, they don't share distribution of power. They have autonomy, they don't have autonomy. There is uniformity in administration, there is no such uniformity in administration across UTs. Executive head is known as governor, executive head is known as lieutenant governor or administrator. Like in Chandigarh case, you have administrator. A governor is constitutional head, here administrator is the constitutional head or lieutenant governor. Parliament cannot make law on matters of state list until unless extraordinary circumstances are there. But in this case, on any matter, Parliament can make law. Now attempt this question. Which one among the following union territories of India is the smallest geographical area? Factual question. Answer is Lakshadweep, right? Which of the following union territories is given partial statehood in India? Answer is Puducherry, having legislative assembly. The jurisdiction of which of the following high courts extend to union territory of Lakshadweep? Answer is Kerala. Which of the following is not possible by a law of parliament under Article 3 of Indian Constitution? So what does Article 3 says? Come on. You can alter the boundaries, right? You can bifurcate, means trifurcate. So it means formation of new state can happen, right? For example, Uttarakhand being carved out of Uttar Pradesh, right? Alteration of area can happen, alteration of boundaries can happen, admission of new state cannot happen. Why? So you have to answer no. So this is the answer. Why? Because we discussed Article 2 talks about admission of new states, right? Constitution of India describes India as what? Constitution of India describes word union of states. Answer is union of states. Okay. So I hope now you are clear about this topic, union territories, right? So there's important information that StudyIQ publication has launched this book on geography, which is going to be helpful for UPSC as well UP or other state PSS exams. So it is having all the fragments of geography in a very well drafted manner, images and etc. So you can check out this book or Flipkart and Amazon. It is going to add value in your preparation. If you want to ask me any question and you feel that I can be of any help, you can connect with me on this Instagram handle. This PDF is going to be available here. See you in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep growing.